So Pam Ellis, we just did your business history about the Secret Ingredient women's fashion boutique that's just south of the Chase Bank on Illinois. What do you think about the concept of saving business histories, seniors' life stories, and families' histories here at the Meridian?
I think this is a great idea. I love hearing the stories and learning, about the history of these different businesses and of these individuals telling the stories.
So we covered a little bit of your background as well as your progression to, where you're at now, and also got to touch on, your mother. Do you think that your clients would appreciate being able to see your story and hear the background as well, being able to send it to them?
Oh, I think so. Yeah. No, because my clients, you have a connection with your customers and you want to hear their stories, and they appreciate the fact that, I drive every day from like an hour and a half and take care of my mom. We do what we have to do, and people appreciate these stories, and you appreciate other people's stories.
Well, I appreciate your time
Thank
and your service for the fashion community here in Meridian, Kessler.
Thank you.
And again, we love your top. And who's the designer?
Thank you so much. This is by Madonna and Company.
Madonna and Company.
Yes.
And how many different designers did you work with? What's like a guess, do you think?
We have
10, 20,
several.
30?
I'd say like 30.
30.
I'd say.
That's a lot of different fashion.
It's a lot. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Well, I thank you for your time and coming here to the Meridian to save your stories today.
Thank you so much.
You got it. This is Sean with Voices of Vaughn. We're here at the Meridian restaurant, and we're upstairs in the private dining room where we're going to be saving stories of people in the community, from families and seniors and also business owners about their careers. And Pam Ellis, you have the Secret Ingredients Women's Fashion Boutique.
Yes.
That's on Illinois, just south of the Chase Bank.
Yes.
And so as far as a little bit of overview for the store, if somebody hasn't been in there before, how would you describe, and I love your top, by the way.
Thank you. This is one of my designers in the store by Madonna and Company.
Okay. So describe the different types of fashion apparel, lines, jewelry. What type of things do you have in there?
So we have everything from fun jewelry. Our store is known, these ladies come in for some great fun jewelry, and we've got it. It's different. It's very reasonably priced. We've got all different lines in the store as far as casual to dressy. So if you're coming in looking for just a nice shirt, maybe by Jess and Jane or Shayna, those are just a couple of lines that we carry in the store. That's that casual, comfortable look. You can come in and grab that. We've got denim. We've got, if you're looking for that mother of the bride dress or just a formal outfit, we've got that as well. And if we don't have it in store, I try my best to find it and call my different vendors and get what my customer wants, because customer service is my main goal at the store.
Now, the store's been around for like 40 years. I know you acquired it recently, but the first year you said it was in 1976?
Yes, and it started in Richmond.
Okay.
So Jeannie Rush was the former owner.
Got it.
And she started it in Richmond, Indiana, and then opened up 2 more stores in Dayton, Ohio, and then opened the one here in Indy. And the one here in Indy has been here for about over 20 years.
Yep.
And then I recently just purchased it. It'll be 3 years in February. So it was, it's just been a wonderful thing. And fashion's always been my passion, and I love what I do.
Well, I heard some good things about the store from my mother yesterday when I was telling her that you were going to be coming in to save your stories here at the Meridian. And she also told me that you and the store forever do a lot of different fashion shows for organizations around the city. If you'd like to speak to that.
Yes, we will have done 23 this year, fashion shows.
23 and 23.
23 and 23, exactly. But we love to give back. So these organizations, they call us to bring in the fashions and show like all the new trends. And then they have their models come in and we fit them. And it could be either they wear 2 outfits or maybe 3 outfits. And we go all over the city. Wherever their organization has the event is where we go. And so it's, it's just fun having exposure out there for the ladies that have not been into our store. So that is just a great, exposure for us. And then just for everyone to see the new trends that are coming out and all the great fashions.
So this isn't your first rodeo. You've had different type of retail stores over the years, and you also mentioned that one of them had burnt down. So
Yes.
let's kind of go from the beginning. What types of stores and where were they, and what's been the progression to now?
So I started with a gift store in Terre Haute, Indiana, and we only were open for maybe 6 months. And then we had a block fire, which started in my store, which was called Simply Unique. And so it actually just burnt the block down. And I didn't reopen. And then a few years later, after having children, we bought a jewelry store that had been in business for over 70 years. It was called Rogers Jewelers.
Mm-hmm.
And then I added a boutique to it, which was more clothing. And so I had that for about 9 years. And I opened it, I would say like 2009. And then life changed.
Mm-hmm.
And so I moved, did some moving around and ended up back here in my home state and back in living where I grew up, which is in Walton, Indiana. And then I knew Jeannie, the previous owner of Secret Ingredient.
How did you even get connected with her originally? Like, what was that?
Family.
Okay.
It was like we had family connections.
Mm-hmm.
And I had shopped at the Secret Ingredient when I was little, and I actually shopped before the Secret Ingredient, which was Tarkington Tweed.
Okay.
So, I'm very familiar with the store and what it carried, and knew Jeannie. And then somebody came to me as a mutual friend of Jeannie's too, said that she was looking for a manager. This is during COVID.
Okay.
Of 2020.
Got it.
So I became Jeannie's manager in August
Mm-hmm.
of 2020. And then in October, Jeannie asked me if I wanted to buy the store. And so here I am.
She made
and
the move.
it'll be 3 years in February. Yeah.
I would assume that, as far as from a clientele list, it's got to be a pretty robust list because it's been there for so long. And there's probably a very diverse backgrounds of individuals and everything. So if you'd like to just kind of speak to the clientele and what you think they really love about the store.
I love it because I have all age groups, and these age groups come in and say, well, my mom shopped here, my grandmother shopped here years ago. And so it's just kind of fun seeing all the different generations come in and that have shopped there, with their grandmothers or their moms. And,
Mm-hmm.
and so it's kind of cool seeing all these different generations come in. So, the age groups that I serve is like 40 years on up.
Okay.
And so, trying to bring in the younger generation as well as keeping the older generation in. So it's just kind of cool seeing all the different.
So have you been able to kind of get to know some of the other owners along the strip?
Oh, absolutely. It's like, I feel like we want to work with each other.
Mm-hmm.
You want to connect with everybody that's along that strip area. With Claudia next door, she and I try to do something together during the holidays.
Okay.
Where we can, kind of bounce off of each other if she has an event.
Right.
So, and we just had the block party. So, that
seemed very successful. I was there for that.
Yeah, we had great weather, and we all kind of do our own things in our stores, but we just, you just want to help each other out and promote, I think, each other.
I know for a long time that intersection was known or sanctioned by the city or decided that it was the most convenient intersection of diversity within Indianapolis and with historic businesses that were involved because of the diversity of what's there.
I agree. I agree. Not growing up here,
Mm-hmm.
but just, being here and being in the store for the last 3 years, it's amazing how that little intersection, it's just got so much character and just, it just, people love it. You just see them walking around and just talking about different little stores that have been there for years.
Right.
So it's just, it's just very cool.
I remember going into your store with my grandmother and mom when I was young, because I'm 48.
Mm-hmm.
So, 40 years later or so.
Well, I think the store originally started where Starbucks is. I think that was Tarkington Tweed.
Okay. Yeah.
Then it became, I think then where we are now is where the Tarkington Tweed
How big is your store? I mean, when I was in it, it seems pretty, like, what's the square footage of retail?
It's like 2,500 square feet.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah.
That's a lot of retail
And
spot.
then I have a lot of storage in the basement too.
Right.
So it is just, and we fill the store up. The store is filled up. So, that's why it's like, I've got a little bit of everything for everyone. I want every woman that come in to feel good about what they're buying. And when they come in, I want them to leave feeling good.
Right. Well, I also want to touch on the fact that your mother, what is her name?
My mom's name is Pat.
Pat. And you're currently helping
I
her.
take care of her.
Taking care of her.
Yes.
And you have Cache and Christian as your kids.
As my children.
And do they ever come down to the shop?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
My daughter still lives in Terre Haute, and she has 2 hair salons.
Oh,
so,
nice.
I mean, she's a little entrepreneur herself. And then my son, he lives in Deerfield Beach, Florida.
Oh.
And he sells RVs, but his territory's out west. But he went to college at FAU.
Okay.
And so Florida's just been his home base, pretty much. So, but when they come in, they absolutely come and see their mom. Yeah.
So to spin it back to the area, what do you really love about this area?
Like I said, there's so much character here, and the history, I think, in this community, it's like a little community in itself.
Mm-hmm.
And I just everything about it, I love. I mean, because, you just have the history of the homes, the history of the stores, and that have continued there for 40 years.
Right.
So, I mean, it's a long-standing, I feel like, business section, and just the homes and the people and the families.
And the families, right.
Yeah.
Well, Pam, I really appreciate you coming to the Meridian to help tell your story, and also, being anchored to a business that's been there for a long time that a lot of people have loved and they still do love. And obviously you expanding lines within the store is great. And what do you think of the concept of essentially being able to save these people's stories, family stories here at the Meridian?
I love this. I think this is such a great idea and a great opportunity for all of us, and just to share our stories and to share it with everyone, just to know what we're about and what the community's about.
Okay. Well, everybody's going to be able to check this out. There's going to be a new YouTube channel that is Indy Meridian Network. And you'll also be able to send this out to your people. We might even be able to do some shooting at your store to be able to kind of show the innards of it.
Love that.
Well, I thank you very much for your time. And I know we're out of water, but let's at least cheers.
Thank you, Sean.
You got it.